How's everybody doing out there? I want to welcome you to Conversation with Chris, episode 20. We're doing something a little different today. We brought a panel on of women to, ask the question, do you really know what men want? I think you'd be surprised by some of the responses. I wasn't, but um, we're going to go in a new direction here at Conversations with Chris, and we're gonna delve more into male female relationships and what are the issues that exist between them, and can we find some kind of common ground. So if you like this type of content, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you like this video and share it. It helps with the algorithm. And this is the first video that we're doing like this, so support. Thanks. Okay. So today we're having a conversation with a few special guests. Lately, I've been reading a lot and having some conversations about Black relationships and the state of, just Black love in this country. And I was talking with Jess, and I talked to Bria about this too. And I feel like there's a disconnect between men and women. And we're going to try to figure this out today. It might take 20 videos to figure this out, but for today, we're going to start. So I'm just going to pose the question, give you some time to think about it. And I feel that women don't really know what men want from them. That's how I feel. But also, I think men know what women want, but for the sake of this conversation, men don't know what women want from them. So this is Conversations with Chris. I do these, not these type of videos, but maybe once a month we try to get together and have these kind of conversations. So from starting with Bree, just introduce yourself, and if you want to tell about yourself, you don't have to say how old you are or anything like that. Just introduce yourself, and then we'll start with Jess, since Jess posed this question, and we're going to see if Jess knows what men really want. So go ahead, Bree, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Bree Chanel. I'm a hairstylist. I work at the salon/barbershop that Chris gets his hair cut at. I also do Jess's hair. I'm from Atlanta, and that's pretty much it.
Shaka?
Hi, I'm Shaka. I know the host by relation. So I don't know what else you want to know.
That's good.
Okay.
Tyrone.
My name is Tyrone Grant, and I'm from New York, but I work with Chris right now.
Just two. That's at the bottom.
Wait, am I at the bottom?
Right now you are.
Oh, okay. I'm Jessica. I'm originally from Atlanta, and I am Jessica's friend. I was invited by her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Jess, the one who started this conversation.
Yes. Well, I am Jess. I from Atlanta. I'm an educator. I'm also a motivator, and I do Ruby Red Thursdays on my own time with ladies. And I am happy to join you, Mr. Chris, on your platform to talk about this topic. But how you want to start it off?
What I want you to do is this then, and just take a few points, maybe like 3 or 4 points, and I'm gonna ask each one of you ladies these points. Mm-hmm. Do you know what a man wants from you? And we can start with you, Jess, if you want. So, yeah, go ahead and start with you. Just 3 or 4 points. You don't have to be too specific, but just 3 or 4 points.
No, I do not feel a man knows what. Well, I don't even feel like he knows.
No, hold on, Jess.
Okay, you want me to talk about me personally?
I want you to say what you think a man wants from you.
What a man wants from me?
Yes.
Sorry, my spouse. I would
That should be pretty simple.
say, huh?
That should be a simple question.
It's not, because I don't feel like they show what.
What do
They
you
don't- they
think?
don't
I don't
show.
even, just what do you think they want?
They just want somebody by their side. That's it.
So companionship, you would say?
See, that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Nobody by
I'm
their
saying,
side. Isn't that companionship?
that's what I want. That's a little bit more deeper and a little bit more thought provoking. But I'm saying somebody by their side,
Like just
doesn't
standing there?
just standing there sometimes.
That's what you think men want. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 2 more.
Go ahead and say 6. 6.
Girl,
And
yes,
more sex.
that.
Okay.
Look, it's
That's
more
more
sex. Yeah, that. I don't know.
That's just 2 things. Okay. We're gonna go with okay, go. Okay, just number 2. What do you think men want from you?
From what I see and what I've experienced, they want me to be their mom,
I was about to say that too.
their caregiver. Let's see here. They want me, well, of course, 6. I mean, you know, and I think that's from what I've experienced. Yeah, those are the 3 that I could think of.
Okay, what about you, Shaka?
Well, I guess I can give a okay example. A guy that I'm kind of talking to right now, he says he wants communication, he wants honesty, and he wants friendship. That's what he wants right now.
Okay. What about you, Brie?
So I feel like what I have received from men, they want you to be a mama without being a mama. So don't necessarily, you ain't my mama. Don't tell me what to do. But at the same time, certain times you act like, anyways, that.
Okay.
Of course, you know, sex goes along with it. I think most men, that's where their heads at a lot of times. And motivation. Like for some reason, like with me, I have received like men look at me like I guess their motivation for certain things.
Okay. So what we have here, we've asked 4 women, 4 random women, you know, they could be anyone. 4 random women. And what I take from what you say is men want sex. They
Mothers.
want mothers. And pretty much more mothers. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here for a second, ladies. Since it's only 2 males here. So I have to be the devil's advocate for this conversation. And Tyrone can chime in too. I think you're all crazy. All of you.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
That sounds crazy.
I mean, look, not necessarily all the way crazy, but I mean, it's something y'all dealing with some crazy kind of people, really.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. It depends who you dealing with, really. Because I don't want you to be my mother, like, in no kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I would want you to cook, clean, and stuff like that, but I could do that stuff too, and I could also do that for myself. So necessarily, I won't need you to, like, do that for me. That would be a plus. You feel me? I feel like we could do that together.
That's a
You can
plus.
cook, I can cook. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
You ain't
plus.
got a baby me, pamper me. You know what I'm saying? Of course, y'all gonna want a man. Y'all should want a man to work, right? Yeah, I do that a lot. I work. You know what I'm saying? Provide, give y'all attention, stuff like that. But me, I don't know. I don't want all of that, which I was talking about just
Exactly.
now. I don't think.
I don't want any of that. Now, I will say
I
this.
mean, sex, it goes both ways. I think y'all want that just as much as us, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So y'all can't even, oh man, want to say, because that's just as important as y'all as it is to us.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say it's just as important, but yes, it's important.
Just as important. So you could date a man and not have any sex?
I said I wouldn't say just as important, but
So
it
on a
is
scale
important.
from 1 to 10, how important is it?
I mean, because most men, like, it don't matter if they mad, sad, happy, glad, whatever, they can do that. But with women, our minds have to be there. We have to,
You know
have
what?
to stroke us, affectionate wise, just
That's a
everything.
whole nother
Like,
conversation,
it's
Bree,
different.
because
Okay,
y'all
but we
women
don't
walk
want to
around with y'all heart in y'all pants. That's the problem.
Okay, but
That's a
okay.
whole nother conversation.
But how is that a problem though? How is that a problem? If that's how women are, why is that a problem?
I didn't say it's a
Women,
problem.
right?
I'm just saying it's a whole nother conversation. Why
Not really.
men don't have to be happy to have sex. They just need to get it off. It is what it is. But that's a whole nother thing. I'm not even gonna go down that well. But I will say this, but I say you're crazy. What Shaka said was sort of true because she talked to a man. And he said he wanted communication, some honesty, and friendship.
Men say a lot of things.
Not say that. They say that, but their actions don't say that.
Let me explain something to you. When you say, well, all three of the four of you, and Shaka agreed with this, that said men want a mother. Right? Right?
But when I say men want a mother, that doesn't mean like, okay, they're asking for somebody to be their mother. Pretty much when you ask us what we feel like men want, we're going based off of like actions, not just necessarily asking the man. Because a man, like even in the beginning of a relationship, when you have that conversation with the man, like you're learning them, they're learning you. A lot of times they'll say a lot of things, and then later on you find out from actions that certain things are different. So it's more so of the actions of different men, and it's not the same men, like, but a lot of men, their actions are like, and I'm not trying to like, that's not to down men like, oh, y'all are boys, but at the end of the day, a lot of men have those type of characteristics where it's like it makes us feel like we're in a way mothering.
Can that just be your perception as opposed, when you say men's actions, how you perceive them? Because let's take this mother.
But you're asking about women, and I'm saying most women. Yeah,
I want to use mothering. I want to use mothering because all of you said this, right? But can it be this? What you call mothering, can't you say men need organization?
No.
Because in my experience as a man, let me explain something to you. As a man, now I'm a man, and I'm older than everyone here, I think.
Only by a little bit, but okay.
But I'm older than everyone here. But as a man, see, what you may perceive as mothering is this. If I say to you, hey, you're good at organizing things. You're better at organizing things than me. So can you run the household? Can you make sure that when we need groceries, I got the money. So can you make sure that the groceries stay full? Can you make sure that the light bill is paid? You may call that mothering.
No.
Can you, when the dirty clothes basket is overflowing, can you throw it in the wash? Is that mothering? So what is mothering?
No.
What is mothering?
So I believe, and I don't want to cut Bree off, but I feel like we're taking that word into a different context.
Yes.
So, and if I'm wrong, Bree, please say something. There's a difference between mothering and nurturing and organizing. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you're mothering, I have come across some grown males, mm-hmm. not men, grown males who don't have any kind of nurturing, organization, or any type of grown sense about them at all. They could be 45 years old and don't have a lick of sense. Okay. But I have also come across some men who can organize. I've also come across some men who just need some nurturing because they just didn't have any nurturing. So there is a difference between mothering, organizing, whatever. Now, as far as keeping house and, paying bills and groceries or whatever, that could be a split of the two, because I think that depends on how you were brought up, how you come into your adulthood and taking care of things, and we can't even say gender roles, because that's all over the place nowadays too. So I think there is a complete difference when it comes across as mothering, because there have been some men who can organize, who can balance a checkbook, who can do all these type of things, but they have no compassion about themselves. They have no type of sensitivity to themselves, and they don't have any kind of nurturing to themselves at all. They can be book smart, they can be street smart, and they can have everything, every degree or whatever about themselves, but they don't have any type of compassion or sensitivity to themselves at all. So as far as mothering, as Bree was probably saying, is that she probably meaning that they don't have any compassion about themselves to be that sensitive or to be vulnerable. Right? Because we always have this stigma that men have to be tough all the damn on time, and they can't show them being vulnerable. And if they are showing being vulnerable, then they look like they a punk. And that's not what it is. So I feel like that mothering and that nurturing is walking a very fine line.
Yeah, it's a very fine line. So what I'll say is this. So Tyrone, we'll come to you first.
Right.
So we asked these ladies 3 things that they think men want from them, which, just like I say, it sounds crazy enough, but okay. I'm going to ask you to tell them 3 things that you want from a woman.
That I want from a woman?
That you want from a woman.
All right. I'll say honesty, right? A woman that works, not just as hard as me, but works. You know what I'm saying? And loyalty.
Loyalty, honesty, and we'll call it ambition.
Ambition, yeah.
So you said loyalty, honesty, and ambition.
Yeah.
Now, because my wife is close to me right now, I'm not going to say too much, but I will say this. If you ask me this question, 3 things that I would want from a woman. One would be organization, because I am a mess. So what I mean by that is someone who can tend to the home. I work hard. I don't have any problem paying bills or anything like that, but I do need someone to tend to the home. Someone who can listen. That's important to me. Listening. Someone that talks a lot more than they listen. And the third thing I might say what I want from a woman is someone who's patient. Someone who's not quick to anger or react. Someone with patience. And then sex is what it is. It's there somewhere. But
can I point something out?
Yes,
Right
ma'am.
quick?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
3.
the 3 different things y'all just said, for Tyrone, that was everything that he is. He wants everything that he feels like he is. You want everything that you feel like you are not, to me.
I am extremely patient, and I take offense to that, Jess. I am a very patient, and I'm a great listener too. But that's okay. But I'm not organized. See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like what I need from a woman is the areas where I'm not strong, for her to be stronger in those areas.
Right.
See, I don't need someone that's the same as me. You know what I'm saying? Because then we're just running in place. But the areas where I drop off at, if you can pick those areas up, then you can be a mate. Then you can be a helpmate and a partner.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Britt.
So, Chris, I just have to also point something out. You're not just talking to you, like even when you come in the shop, you're not the average Joe. Like you're you're different. Like like I said before, you know how to you know how to communicate, you know how to say the things that you want and speak on the thing. You know how you answer that type of question so easily, and you're able to say what you want. Like a lot of men aren't really able to say what they truly want. Now, like I said in the beginning, you do the talking and everything like that, but a lot of men aren't really able to speak on what they really want. So a lot of times we as women, I feel we as women are left guessing, you know, because we know what we want, but it's like we're
So are
left
you really
guessing.
asking that question straight up? Do you ever come straight up and ask that
Yes.
question? Like, hey, what do you really want from me?
Yes.
Let's take the sex out of it. Let's take the sex out.
I'm gonna say this. I have asked. I'm a great conversationalist like you. I know how to communicate. I'm great at that. And for example, DJ, he's not. That's just not his.
Yeah,
that's just not his. Yeah, he. And I get it. I know everything, but at the end of the day, like the communication, you know, sometimes he just shut down. So, but at the end of the day, like I have asked, like, what would you want more from me? What do you want from me? And
probably say you
and
found
I asked this with my last situation too. Like it was like they don't have an answer for it. They don't have an answer for it. It's almost like, and I know I'm not. I know I'm not. I have areas that I need to work on because I'm hard on myself, and I know how to point out certain things I'm doing wrong. I'm always self-reflecting and everything like that, trying to better myself. But I be wanting to hear if there's anything that bothers them about me. What can I do more of for you? And a lot of times they don't know how to answer that.
Because they probably really don't even know themselves.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah, because they probably don't know what think about it. They probably never dealt with anyone who can communicate as well as you do. And so for you to come out straight out and tell them, oh my goodness, they're like, wait, hold on.
I don't need anything.
Said that to me before. You want me to what? You want me to tell you? And you ain't even oh, wait a minute. Where the cameras at? This is set up. Ain't nobody ready for that.
Right.
Nobody's really ready for all that complete, transparent honesty, Bree. And that can be at every age group. As I want to say, we had this conversation the last time we all had a conversation. We thought it would be different in different age groups, but it ain't. It's not. Nobody really can really be that clear and be upfront with another person and say, yeah, this is what it is, because they're afraid of what the reaction is going to be. So,
yeah, I agree with that. Honesty is hard. Sometimes it's hard to be honest. It is hard, especially for a man, you know, trying to show some form of sensitivity or some form of like Shaka said, being vulnerable in certain kind of ways. It is hard. We're not raised that way, you know. It's just, hey man, you know, you got to keep it moving, you know, be tough. And I've learned that in my older years, to be more vocal about things that I want and don't like. I've learned that. But in my younger years, I was like, hey, listen, I don't want no problems. So, you know, I'm just going to shut up and keep it moving, you know, and it works to an extent. But so right now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch this up. And I'm going to ask Tyrone to tell me a few things that he thinks women want from men. Just a few. Give me like 3 things. Well, you give me like 4 since it's just 2 of us. Give me like 4 things.
All right. I'm going to see. Of course, they're going to want a guy that works hard.
So provide.
Okay.
Yeah.
They gonna want an honest man, of course. They gonna need a loyal man, of course.
Honest and loyal.
And I guess they gonna need a guy that's patient.
Patience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say another thing, a guy that knows what he wants.
So an assertive man is a good thing for assertive.
See, I'm saying some real stuff, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all about me too. While I'm giving y'all the answers I'll give y'all, because like we were talking about a few minutes ago, you gotta be ready. Like I understand what y'all saying all the way, 100%, all of y'all. But it also depends with the person you're dealing with, because the person got to be ready to, I guess you would say, take that step in life
Yeah.
to be on the level that y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? Now I was a mess. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie to none of y'all. I was a wild dude. You know what I'm saying? So now I've come to the point in my life where I'm old enough. You know what I'm saying? I have a good job, a great job. I have a career job. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at the point where now I feel like I'm ready to, yes, settle down, be that guy, you know, be a different guy, you know what I'm saying? But it took time for me to get there, I'll be honest, you know what I'm saying? You got to be real to yourself, you got to be real with yourself.
Yeah.
And you just got to be, you know, honest with yourself about, you know, the stuff you did, all of that stuff. You got to look at everything as a whole, you know what I'm saying? I look at all my situations as a whole, realize what I did to women, all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you got to be real to, you know, be real with yourself and realize that and come at women in a different way, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
As a man, you know what I mean?
I agree. Now, I'm going to give just a few that I may think women want from men. Since he already said provide, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say provide. What I would say is I think women want open communication. They want trust. They want a man that'll take responsibility, I guess, for his actions, not just for the household. They want a man that can be her friend. And I guess some kind of emotional maturity would be a good word to use. Maybe emotionally mature.
You know what? See, that's why I say you're different. That's why I say.
But
Chris,
what?
like,
Listen,
talking to
no,
you
that's
about
not
something
fair.
like this.
That is totally unfair.
No.
That is unfair. Listen, Tyrone, they said it's unfair. Now listen. Now I'm gonna say this. I have four.
That just would have been all of it. You didn't have to say all that other stuff.
What I'm saying is this.
You could have just started with the emotional maturity, and you would have had us on like, y'all.
So we have four. Look, Tyrone. We have four women here. We have four ladies here right now, right? Now y'all told us what y'all think men want from you, right? Now we're telling y'all what we think women want. Now I'll read them back to you. Provide, honest, loyal, assertive, open communication, trust, taking responsibility, and emotionally mature. Now, where are we wrong in anything we just said?
Nothing. Not at all.
Nothing.
Not at all.
Not one thing. Now, everything that y'all just said, we was like, no. Everything y'all just said except for sex, we was like, y'all wrong. But everything that we just said, y'all say we're right.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the problem here?
Hold on.
So
it ain't enough of y'all. That's what the problem is.
It ain't
But hold
enough
on.
of us.
Hold on. Let me go get a charge.
Listen.
My phone about to die.
So I feel like I don't think there's a problem with that, Chris. I don't think that I don't believe that everything that you just said was wrong. I don't believe that anything that Tyrone said was wrong. But there's a lot of men out here that like to do a lot of smoke and mirrors. And there's a lot of men out here that just talk a lot and they have a lot of lip service. So it's just like what Bree was saying. It's just like what Jess was saying, that actions follows up everything. And if these men are saying, I want a woman who's loyal, she down for me, she hold me down, she love me, she patient with me, she want all this, and we show you this, y'all gravy. But if we ask y'all the same exact thing, we will get all of this, but no action.
But that's why I also said you got like the guy got to be ready. You feel me? And real with himself to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
So my
I
question would be,
100%.
how would a woman know for a fact when a guy's ready? But if that's what y'all speak on I mean, of course, over time, actions show. But like you said, the guy has to be ready. But in the beginning, we're only hearing from you your thoughts and your. So we have to be in a relationship for a good minute to. I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta
that's a
learn
good
everybody.
question.
You gotta
So
learn
shit,
anyone, but
that's a
I
real good
mean
question.
but that's that's the reason why I feel like women are just like, when a lot of times y'all, a lot of men talk and like what you're saying sounds good, and and I'm, nobody's calling you a liar, but you may be at a point in your life where you're ready. But it's a lot of men that will say the same thing you're saying and still not really be ready.
No, yeah, you true. And that's why I said that was a good question. You was like, how do you know? Because I don't know. I mean, you feel me? I was just ready. You know what I'm saying? And I can't tell you. I don't know. It took me forever. I'm
Right.
32. You know what I mean? Like, so it took me a minute. I don't know. I guess it's what you go through in life. I guess everybody different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
But you don't think, I mean, this question about being ready,
mhm.
I think that's relative, because if you're in a relationship with someone, if you're not in the same place, then you're going to be looking for something from him that he's not looking for from you.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like saying, hey, like you're saying, hey, I'm showing you that I'm able to do all these things that you say you want in a woman. But maybe I'm not looking for a wife right now. Okay, maybe you're fine. We have a good relationship. Everything is good between us, but I'm not looking for a wife. But you may be looking for a husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that may be where a lot of this disconnect can come from. When you say your actions don't show me what you're saying. No, my actions say that you're cool. My actions say I like spending time with you. My actions say that I like sleeping with you. My actions say all this, but your actions say that you want me to walk you down the aisle next week. And I think that that's where the problem is. It's not that, like Tyrone said, listen, I'm not going to say how I came up. It's not for the purpose of this discussion. But I will say this. I reached a point in my life in my mid-20s where I was like, man, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of living this kind of way. And I said, okay, I'm going to live a different kind of way. Now I was younger.
But not everybody can do what you do, though. Not everybody.
But what I'm saying is every man reaches that point at some point in his life.
Yeah.
But see, if he's not at that point in his life and you are with him, if you're in a relationship with a man like that, then you have to either A, leave, or B, accept where he is in life and grow with him. Those are the only two options that you have. There are no other options here, because what it's going to come to is you nagging. Why you doing this? Why you doing that? I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't want this. I don't want that. But he is where he is. Like I said, I know Tyrone. He's a good guy. He's a good dude. But I didn't know him 10 years ago. I didn't know him 10 years ago. It's no telling what he was like 10 years ago. Now he's speaking eloquently and he's saying all the right things. Like if you ladies were available, he'd probably get all of y'all, But what I'm saying is this. It took him 32 years of living to get there. Some of you are in your 20s. So what kind of man is going to come along with that level of maturity in his 20s? I don't know any. I don't know any. I don't know not one. And I'm pretty sure I know more men than all of you and have met more men than all of you ladies put together. And I don't know one man.
That might be true, but I don't feel like it's just in the 20s. I think it's just like you said, it's just a point in their life when they realize that they want to live differently. Because I've met some men that's in their 30s or their 40s. Hell, that's almost 50, and they still don't know what they want to do. So I don't really feel like we had a conversation prior to this in age group when we looked at that statistic. I think it's like you said, when they get a point in their life and they realize that, you know what, I'm over this lifestyle. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to build a life with someone. I want to, you know what I mean? I want a wife, or I want a husband, or whatever. And they get to a point in their life where like, I'm ready to just be with this one person now. It
Mm.
just takes that moment for them to reach that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if somebody would have told me when I was in my 20s that my marriage was going to last forever, I would have been like, it is. But then when I woke up, it was like, yeah, no. Hell no. And I can't, but then it took me until I was in my late 20s, early 30s to realize that it ain't my fault. It was a joint effort, and we both have to grow from that. But sometimes some people's growth is different from other people's growth, like you said prior. So my ex-husband has been married 2 more times since we got divorced.
Wow.
Where I was in my mind like, oh, it ain't me.
He just can't get it right.
But in his mind, he ready. Like
He
he
ain't
at that point where he ready.
Yeah, he may be ready, but he hasn't found the right woman. He may be ready, but he hasn't found the right woman.
Yes, yeah.
And I can't speak for him because we don't talk, but I mean, from what I can see, going off of what Bree says, his actions, I say he hasn't found it within himself. Because you can't tell me that you'd have been through 3 wives and you still don't know what's going on. Like, come on.
His picker
But
might be broke. He might be just picking bad women. I ain't saying nothing about you, Shaka. I ain't saying nothing about you.
Hey, you ain't been saying nothing bad about me because I knew when I was in my 20s. First off, I was in the military. We both was in the military. So yeah, no. No, that ain't no type of life, but it is what it is. In my 20s,
I feel like if everyone, men and women, did some self-reflection
yes, ma'am.
based off of what they go through or whatever, then it'll be so much better.
It would be. But will they do that though, Bree? Are they honest enough with themselves to do that?
No.
Not at
No.
all.
I don't know. I think
and
men know their flaws I think men are very in tune with where their flaws are. And I think we're a lot more accepting of our flaws than the fairer sex.
Maybe the ones down there in Georgia.
What I'm saying is this. This is what I mean by this. Tyrone, since he's the only other male here, he just said himself, I was a wild one. I was out there. And he knew it. And he accepted that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I said to myself,
Yeah,
like,
that was hard.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I would have said to myself, like, and I'm not trying to speak from a personal perspective, but if I was to say, hey, I'm a mean person. I know I'm mean. I know it. You ever hear people say that? Hey, listen, I'm mean. I know I'm mean. Look, I don't like people. I know I don't like them. This, that, and other. That's when people have accepted their faults, right? I think, and this may even come off as slightly chauvinistic, but I think that women are not as accepting of that as men are. We know we're assholes.
We're gonna start a whole other conversation.
Listen, we know we can be assholes, right? I don't want to curse too much, so I'm gonna keep the cussing down. But we know we can be that way. We know we can be out here doing all kinds of foul stuff. But you know what? When Tyrone was living like that, or whatever man is living like that, they don't get up in the morning and frown in the mirror.
But let me tell you something.
They get up tomorrow and they be like, let's do it again.
Man,
am I lying?
That's saying nothing though, because my thing is, if a man, and I don't disagree with you, a man may know where he is at that point or what type of person he is, but if he talking a whole bunch of other stuff, that don't make a difference.
But he got to talk that to get you. He got because I want you. I want Bree, Jess, Chaka. How am I gonna get all of y'all if I tell y'all the truth?
But how will we ever be in tune? You just asked us the question of the topic of this is, do we know what men want? It's almost like we're faulted because of, we're in most cases. Now, like I said, Chris, you're a little different. In most cases, in a lot of cases, men don't really either communicate well or they lie, like you just said,
Oh, we know what
about
we
certain
want.
things. So at the end of the day, it's just like, what are we supposed to do about that? The other conversation we had the other day was, I mean, it was more so like, if we don't nag, or if we don't do this, or if we don't, like the whole conversation we had. But it's like, okay, if we aren't getting anything from y'all, pretty much, you said the only thing, y'all are pretty much simple in what y'all want with women. But if we not getting what we need from y'all, then how is it gonna work? It's almost like to me, what I got from it was like, just put up with it, just deal with it, and just stop talking, stop running your mouth all the time.
No, I was saying pick your battles. That's what I was saying.
I mean,
I'm like, be
get it.
selective.
but picking your battles, and I agree with that too, because some things can be petty, and some things you don't have to say. You don't have to say everything you're thinking or whatever. You don't. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, even if it's something serious to me, like you said before, if it's something serious to me, it might not be serious to him, and you have to think about, whether that's something you want to, really, is it worth putting out there? Is it worth saying?
Is it worth it?
But
Yeah.
if it's important to me, then it is worth it. Like, that don't make sense.
It makes perfect
You
sense.
just gonna sit on something that's important to you.
But what I'm saying is this. Now I'm the only man. I lost Tyrone here. So I'm the only man here right now. But from my experience and from my understanding of women, and I'm no guru. I am not a relationship expert by any measure of the word. But from my experience, what's things that women deem important, most men don't care about. That's just my experience. When somebody, now, see, this is how men sort of operate. Most men. And Bree, you can probably attest to this. I know DJ very well. Does this make sense? No. Okay, I ain't fucking with it. Excuse me for cutting. But I ain't messing with it. Does this make sense? I'm not messing with it. Now, what he may try to do is acquiesce to you because this seems so important to you, but it makes absolutely no sense to me. So I'm going to try to at least show you that I care, even though I really don't. And that's what you get. And that's what I mean. When something is truly important, like truly important, you're going to address it a certain kind of way. You're going to bring that up a certain kind of way. You're going to introduce that into the conversation a certain kind of way. But when you come into the conversation with this is what I think. Oh, okay, here we go. See, you lost me already. And you were trying to talk about something very important. So that's what I mean. If you think about your man or any one of you ladies who's been in a relationship with a man, most of the time he's just sitting around. Either he's working or he's sitting somewhere. If he's not out in the streets, if he's not that kind of guy, most of the time he's just sitting around somewhere when he's not working. And most of the time, the things that come up, you bring them up. Most of the time, if you didn't say anything, he might sit there on the sofa all day long, just eating and shutting up. That's what a lot of them will do. So the things that are important to the man are like shelter. Or, hey, do we got food? The lights on in here. Those kind of things. You might just say, you don't hug me enough. And he'll be like, what? Like, who? What? Dang, babe, did you like the chicken we ate for dinner? But that's what I'm saying. So you have to try to bridge that gap, not make what's important to you important to him, but try to introduce it in a different kind of way. To at least, one thing that I try to do, I don't try to do this, but one thing that I say people can try to do is try to convince people that things are their ideal. I mean, if you can convince a man, you like to be hugged, let's say. If you could convince a man that what he's doing is his thing, he'll probably do it all the time.
Very true.
He'll do it all the time because you convinced me that this hugging thing is, good. But if you come to him like you need to do this and you need to do that, you ain't gonna
He
get
ain't
nothing
listening to
there.
none of that.
You're
He
gonna be
ain't
like,
heard none of it.
she's nagging. She's
No,
nagging.
not all the time. Not all the time. You heard that conversation I had the other day when I said,
Around and be like, oh, girl, what you doing? And he gonna open the door. You don't even
let me
have to.
tell you, one time I did that.
Mhm.
He was like, what you doing? Girl, you better go ahead and get out.
I would have sat there until he opened that door. I'm like, okay. But see, that's what I'm saying. If that's something that's very important to you, you shouldn't have to not have that. That's a
Right.
simple thing. And if you watch this, you're my dog. It is what it is. But that's a simple thing. You should be able to have that, but you shouldn't introduce it in a way where it's negative or say, hey, I really like that, but you don't do that no more. I don't know. Some things are sensitive. What I'm saying? Some men are sensitive to criticism. They don't take that well. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sensitive to criticism or not. Am I sensitive to criticism over there? Oh, yes.
Did you
What?
say over there? Did you say over there? He didn't say babe. He didn't say honey. He said over there.
It's people over there. It's more than one person over there. Even my daughter says, I'm not sensitive. Hold on. I'm doing something. I'll deal with them later.
Oh, okay.
I'll deal with them later. But I'm just saying, like, if you want something from a man, if you really want something from a man, you have to find the way in. And it's not always easy.
Let me
It's
ask a
not always
question.
easy. Mhm.
Let me ask a question. I saw this thing on social media a while ago where this married couple was posting, and the husband was saying about correcting his wife, or he corrects her, or she corrects him, and they felt that was a trait of love within themselves for them, because they felt they was okay to correct. And you just said you were sensitive to criticism.
I'm not.
So-
That's what they said.
Oh, okay, whatever. So if your wife was to say, hey babe, like you said, Bree said about opening the door, babe, you don't really, you don't pull my chair out, you don't buy me flowers anymore, whatever the case may be. Will you be sensitive to that? Or will you sit up there and listen to what she got to say and then move from there?
Well, listen, let me say this. I am not the perfect man. I don't do the door thing. I never really have. And I think that's more about her than me. Like, she's just always moving so goddamn fast. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, like, she gets to the door before me. Her legs are short and she walks fast.
Oh.
But I'm saying, like, I try to be attentive to that stuff. If someone says something like that, like, I feel like this. This is Chris, and I'm sorry, it's Chris. Every time I talk out, it seems like, oh, Chris just got it together. But if someone says something like that, it's something underlying. That's how I feel about that. Like if somebody says, hey, you don't do this and you don't do that and you don't do this, there's some other problem here. Because you're pointing out the negative now. And you're paying attention to the negative things in our relationship.
But so they're pointing out the problems. Those are the problems.
No, I'm just saying those are your problems. But let me ask you a question. You have problems, right?
But you avoiding, cuz, or go back, revert back, circle back. Go back. You avoided. Don't avoid.
No, I didn't. What I said was there's an underlying problem here.
But you just said it's your problems. Now you said that's a problem in the relationship.
Yeah, it's a problem in a relationship.
If Miss Smith comes to you and says, sweetheart, you don't do the sweet things that you used to do. Do you feel like that's an underlying problem, or did she initially tell you, sweetheart, you don't do the sweet things? She's pretty much telling you what it is. You feel like she's focusing on that?
I don't think so. Because say for instance, let's just say for instance, you're a woman, you got a list of 10 things your man must do. And he does 7 of those 10.
And you look at the negative.
But he doesn't hold the door. and he doesn't buy you flowers or candy.
Mm. But I said sweet things. It don't have to be flowers.
But I'm
candy,
saying
all
the
that.
three sweet things, the three sweet things, and you got 10 things, but it's the 3 sweet things that he's not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're congratulating him and patting him on the back and motivating him for the 7 good things he's doing, and then you want to mention those, that's okay. But if you're not doing that and you're just telling me about these 3 things, I don't give a damn. I don't care, because now what you're doing is just being critical. That's all you're doing. See, you have to have it both ways. You can't just have it one way and say, oh, you're not doing this and you're not doing that and nah. And then you're not lifting him up on the other end, because you're not doing this for me. All you're doing is pulling me down. That's how he's going to look at it. That's how you're going to look at it. Like, man, you ain't said nothing to me about how nice the grass looked that I cut. But you talking to me about some flowers?
So not coming with a redirect. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying you have to be consistent with that. If you're consistently critical, then you have to be consistently supportive.
Okay,
Right.
so what if you are consistently supportive, and then they're still like, well, why do you why are
Let's
you worried?
rephrase that, Bree. Let's say if you think you're consistently supportive.
No,
Let's say
it
that.
ain't no think. It ain't no think. Because
You see that? You see what she's doing, Shaka? She said, nope.
Nope. Because nope.
I kind of feel like where she's coming from. So I don't know DJ, so I'm just throwing.
Don't
this
talk
out.
about DJ. Nobody say nothing else about DJ.
I'm not talking about DJ. Bree, I'm not talking about DJ at all. I'm just making him an example because,
Right.
you know, okay. So if DJ, if you sit up there and say, you know, DJ is a great basketball player, and he's a great provider, and he's a great communicator, and he's an awesome, you know, he's an awesome person, but then, you know, DJ don't want to take out the doggone trash, and DJ won't open up my doggone door. But you're being supportive in all those other things, but these little things right here is not bothering you. And Chris just said, I don't give a damn. I need somebody to tell me how to think about that. I feel like that's sometimes where that goes, where you can say, I can be supportive all day. I could be your motivator. I can be about your support, about your hopes and dreams and everything.
Right.
But then if I tell you 2 little things, like I just, you know,
then they feel like they've done enough. Like, aren't I doing enough?
Times, I said, hey, you know, you don't do the sweet things, and hey, you don't do
Yeah.
I'm getting beat up because I'm being negative and I'm nagging. But I'm telling you something that is really bothering me. It's really bothering me. I bring it to the forefront, and I feel like we can talk about it, but you're telling me that I'm nagging. Okay, I'm gonna need Chris to follow up with the answer with that.
I mean, but you ever heard the term making a mountain out of a molehill? You ever heard that term?
See, that's what I be talking about. That's not bad. No, that's not right.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying this. If I never open the door for you ever again, is that a reason to leave me?
No.
So what are we fighting about?
No, it's not a reason. It's not a reason.
To me, that depends on the moment. If she wants to leave you because you just don't open up the door, that's her obligation.
Well, that would seem like a pretty unreasonable thing, Jess.
It might be, but what I feel is whatever a person want to stay for or leave for, that is up to them. Period. They don't have no questions. There's no questions asked. That's up for them.
You'd be like, good luck with that later in life. If you're gonna leave because I won't open the door for you, you're gonna find 30 other men that are way worse than me that won't open the door for you. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. What you just said. You said why make that a issue, or why bring that up? Because that's something you care about. Like, that's just like it. That's almost like being inconsiderate. If a man says, like, if the man says something he wants from you, and you know you doing all this stuff, and then he say, well, I feel like I would like if you do this more or whatever like that. And I was like, man, you get what I'm saying? That ain't like, that's being considerate. I feel like in a relationship, you every single day, you should try to do something nice for that person or something loving for that person. So if that is a problem and it's not that big of a deal, then why make it an issue? If I'm talking to you about something I would like to be done, why make it an issue? Why be aren't I doing enough? Why have that type of attitude, or why see that as nagging when it's something like every day you're learning that person. I don't care how long you've been married. I mean, you can switch up, you can change up or whatever like that. So why not, if this is something that matters to me now, why not, at least put some thought into it instead of brushing it off? That's why I don't understand about a lot of men. It's like, why brush off so many things when sometimes, even if it's simple, like if you feel like it's simple and it's silly, why is it hard to do? Like what and that's where I feel like the disconnect is. It's more so like you feel like men are more simple and we are more difficult. But if the woman, for the most part, I'm not talking about you, Chris, because obviously you're great at communicating, but if the woman is most of the time the communicator, the one who speaks more on what she wants or talks or whatever like that, like you say, y'all don't care about a lot of stuff you say, but if the woman is the more vocal about a lot of things and what she wants and how she wants to be treated, then how does that make us more difficult if we're speaking on it and y'all are not really speaking on the things that y'all just pretty much, I mean,
I think that's what I'm saying.
To me, that makes it easier.
You said,
I feel like it's a double standard, Bree. I think it's a double standard. Crystal's probably tell me no, but I think it's a double standard.
I think it's a double standard for men, not women. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a double standard. Chris just said it. It's a double standard.
For men, yes.
Yeah, it is. It's a double standard. So you just said, y'all care about this. We don't care about stuff like that. Y'all don't bring it up. We're just sitting around. We just kicking it. We chilling. We ain't saying nothing all day. We ain't thinking about it. We don't give a damn. We don't care. But we care. But if you were to ask a man, and again, this is opinion, if you were to ask a man with the little things that they look at when women do things for them, it could be like, you know what, she made sure that, I had a hot dinner when I got home today. Just little stuff like that. Well, that little thing to her might have been, you opened up my car door. You were doing it when we were dating. We got together when you got me, and now you stop.
That's not a small thing. Cooking dinner every day is not a small thing.
But what I'm saying is,
whenever I try to make sure I say thank you every time.
And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. See, now you're getting sensitive, cuz I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general. What I'm saying in general is that y'all may not think that it's a huge thing to us because it's a car door, but to y'all, a hot meal, that's a lot to you. But to us, that may not be a whole lot. Hell, we worked just as hard as you did today, but we made sure that you got a meal when you got home. But what I'm saying is, what your small thing to you may not be as small as you think it is to us. That's what I'm saying. The comparison.
I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, you may sit up there and say, shoot, man, my wife made sure she made me lunch today. Put a little note in there, just little stuff like that.
And that might be something she enjoys, or that's okay for her. So that's not big to her to cook you a meal. So just like it wouldn't be anything big or amazing to open the door, like it's nothing. That may not be nothing for her. Now, if your woman makes sure you got a hot meal time you get home, and that's something she don't damn like, then that's different. But right. I mean,
I guess, you know what? I'm going to acquiesce here and say this. You are correct in saying that it shouldn't be a big deal to do that. You're correct in saying that. You have every right to think that. But from a male perspective, and that's all I can speak from is from a male perspective, if you're asking me to do all this stuff, and this is the price for admission to be with you, let's just say, I need to make sure that the mortgage is paid. I need to.
DJ Tyler, baby. He done opened the door.
What did he say? What did he do?
He tired of Bree J.
He done.
Bree J, what's up, Bree J? What's up, Bree J? Now, I would say that yes, you can think that way and you can do those things, and that's fine. But what I will say is this. As a man, you're asking me to provide, right? If I fall short in that area, you're going to let me know. You're asking me to be, if we have kids, you're asking me to be a father. If I'm short in that area, you'll let me know. If I come home and the door is hanging off the hinge, you're going to want me to fix that. So as a man, if I'm doing everything that you want me to do, and it's just this, now I can see if you was like, you don't talk to me, you don't communicate with me, you don't spend no time with me. That's a big deal. I'm just speaking from a male perspective here. I'm not speaking from a female perspective because But what I will say is this. A man is going to look at that like it's a small thing. As much as you might want him to look at it differently. As much as you may feel like it's not small. Because if depending on what roles we play in this relationship and depending on what you require from me to be with you, what you require of me. Now, if you one of them women that be like, I don't want nothing from this, he ain't got to do nothing, but damn, at least you can do is open the door. Okay, I understand it. But if you're one of them women that have all these other requirements of me, why is this such a big deal when I'm doing all this? That's a male perspective. And 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10 men will agree with what I'm telling you.
They will agree, but the same thing rules apply for women too. It's the same thing. Y'all want us to cook, you want us to clean, you want us to bear children, you want us to be your confidant, you want us to be your motivator, you want us to be your spiritual guider, you want us to be your yes, because you can't tell me the spiritual guider.
Look good.
You want us to look good. I ain't got there yet. Let me finish. You want us to cook, clean, bear children, motivate you, spiritually guide you as well too, because you also want somebody to help you, be there too, because it's supposed to be a mutual thing. And you want us to look good, smell good, and you want us to try to keep the size we came in with if we don't try our best, our damnedest to try to stay the size that we was when we met you. Before or after children. So there's a lot of things that you're asking of us as well. Yes, it is. It's a lot of things. Of course, you're going to shake your head, you married, but I know damn well if your wife starts falling off at the wayside on some things, you ain't going to say nothing. Yeah, right. I know better. Come on now.
Listen, I don't want to get my head chopped off. I ain't saying nothing.
But even if a man doesn't say anything, you already as a woman, like we become harder on ourselves even after kids. Sometimes when our bodies change, because we know that there are other, like regardless of how much a man that has nothing to do with your man not loving you, but regardless of how much he loves you and how y'all came into the relationship, what you look like then and what you look like now. And how other women look, and men are visual, like you can that makes us harder on ourselves. So
I think women care more about how they look than men do.
I don't. That you don't say,
Liar.
you don't speak on it.
You know how many men I know?
Liar.
Well, maybe not your own bodies.
You know how many men I know that got like 300-pound wives?
Okay, but they might have liked the 300-pound wife.
But they weren't 300 pounds before.
That's not even the issue.
I'll give you a prime example. I was
what she
145
said,
pounds at one time. I was 145 pounds. I was 5'10", 145 when I was 20 years old. I'm 45 years old. I'm 5'10", 215. Now, true enough, I feel like I'm the best looking I've ever been. But,
Oh my God.
but I will say this. I don't think men hold as much credence in how their woman looks as their women do. Women are much more
Lies.
shallow than men.
lies,
Much
lies,
more.
lies.
Much
Lies.
more. If a
Lies.
man likes you, he will roll your big ass over. Oh, excuse me for cussing.
You fine.
He will roll you over and do whatever. It don't even matter. It don't even
Lies.
matter to him.
Lies,
I promise you this.
lies, lies,
I promise you this.
lies, lies. I
Women care
appreciate you
much more about how they
I
look than men
appreciate-
do.
I appreciate you holding face because your beautiful wife is probably sitting in the room with
No,
you.
no.
But you can't
I
tell
can
me
pull
nothing.
up 10 guys. I
don't
can
believe
pull
it.
up 10 guys right now. And y'all, I don't want to gauge people's beauty, but I will say I could pull up 10 guys and you'll be like, man, he's married to her. Like, what's up with that?
You can
Like,
say that.
He could do better than that.
So when it boils down to
We don't run out because you ain't looking the way you used to look.
Okay,
Bree just
okay,
said
but
it.
let me say
Bree
this.
just said it. She said Bree just brought it to the table. We are harder on ourselves than anybody else.
Exactly.
You are visual people.
But let me say this.
Tell
That's
me
a woman problem. That's not a man problem.
But do you realize why it's a woman's problem?
Because y'all are so
don't have-
self-conscious. Y'all are too
no,
self-conscious.
Oh
No,
my
because
God.
because we have to, if we want to bear kids and our bodies just happen to change. Like some women, they got it good. But if we bear children and our bodies have to change from that, we can't, there's nothing we can do about it except for surgery and or working out,
I
whatever.
wish I could stand up and
then-
show y'all
but
my
a
pot
man-
belly.
but hold
Like,
on,
what
but
y'all saying?
Look, girl, but hold on. But a man does not have to go through these changes. That's why y'all don't care. That's why it's nothing to y'all. That's why it's more so a us thing and not a y'all thing, because y'all don't have to go through these changes. Y'all don't have to do that. So try to be more sensitive and sympathetic to certain things like that.
What do you mean, man? What is he gonna say to you? What is a man gonna say? Hey, babe, you're looking a little plump around the midsection. You just had 4 kids. Like, no, I'm telling you, you care about how you look more than your man does. That's what I'm telling you. Now, I'm a man, and I'm telling you this as a man. Any one of you ladies here, see Jess all made up down there and all this stuff. Y'all care about how y'all look way more than men do.
Because look, let me tell you this. When you met, I'm not talking about, I don't know your wife, but when you met your wife, she looked a certain way. You, like you said, you're visual. Like time y'all see the men's minds go
33 years ago.
Hold on. But you were attracted to her for the way she looked.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever y'all, got serious, whatever, she had kids, whatever, her body changes. In her mind, most likely a lot of times, she feel like, dang, I look good, or I didn't have this, or I didn't have that problem. You get what I'm saying? And he liked me then. Like he liked this, and that's what he saw, that's what he was attracted to. I want to try to get back to that, and sometimes I can't get back to that. Mm-hmm. So, and then it's like all of these other women that we know damn well, like you learn your man, you learn their type, you learn what they like.
Exactly.
And not, it is a bit of, I will say it is insecurity, but there is a reason why most women go through this insecurity, and it's a valid reason. We have to bear kids. Like if that's our choice, if that's what we want in a relationship, and we have to be the ones to bear kids. Y'all can't bear them. Mm-hmm. So it's a fact. Like that's just what happened.
It's true, but we don't care.
It's good to know from you.
You know, if your woman has this big bump in front of her and she's not made out of rubber, it's not going to all just nicely fit back like it used to fit. That's a trade-off that men and women take. Your physical appearance changes. Your body changes. And if a man is going to be with you and he loves you and he's going to be with you, he has to accept that as well. So it ain't like he can just say, you know what? I'm out of here because now you got 3 more inches on the front of you. If that's the case, he shouldn't have been there anyway. But men really do not. Shaka, I'm a little bit older than you. Do you remember you were 20 years old?
Mm-hmm.
You remember you were 20? You remember how everything just snapped into place? Pow.
Hell, I'm in the military. Everything
Exactly.
was back into place. What you thought?
Exactly.
Yeah. I
No.
had a whole midlife crisis when I had my son and I couldn't get back into my size, but there was nothing I could do about that.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You had any problems picking up a man anywhere?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Women
But
care about
that's
that way
confidence
more than
in
men.
myself. But that was confidence in myself. But it was, I think what she's trying to convey over is that you are visual people. Men
Yeah.
are visual creatures. So you can't tell me that if you don't see Halle Berry walk across the street and you walking with your wife, you don't be like, well, damn. Or you don't see Beyonce, you don't be like, damn.
It's
Yeah.
not even about
You ain't gonna say
competition,
that.
though.
Listen.
It's not even about competition. Like, a woman is not thinking, oh, I have to compete with this chick over here. That
Right.
like that's neither here nor there. But because we know men are visual, y'all claim y'all don't care. Y'all like that's what it is. But y'all also say y'all are visual.
Don't
Right.
act like you women
Like-
aren't. Don't act like you aren't.
We are, but like I said, if y'all want to get back to where y'all want to be, it'd be so much easier.
Yeah, we can. I dig that. Yeah, we can lose weight easily.
Yeah.
But men are more comfortable with themselves. Just like I said, I wish I could stand up and show you my pot belly. I used to be a skinny guy. I used to be. But I'm comfortable with me. I'm so comfortable with myself. And just like I say, I don't think any one of you ladies would have any problems finding a man.
It has nothing to do with that.
So why would you be so conscious about it?
It's not a part of being self-conscious about him or finding a man. It's finding a good quality person.
Well, he ain't gonna care.
That's something men will never, I guess, understand. But that's just like asking a white person to understand black people and their problems. Like, that's just something you probably would just, like, we can explain to you till we blue in the face, and you probably still gonna be like, but it's that's not what we care about, and it makes sense to us. So
Shaka,
I mean,
look at Bree's neck. I just want you to look at her neck. See how little her neck is? Bree is like this big. Like,
that has nothing. But what? How do you know I want to be this big? Like, I was thick, a little bit thicker before I had my baby. When I had my baby, I lost everything. I got down to 114. I didn't like that. That was way too small for me.
114. I got shoes that heavy.
Exactly. But that was not a good thing for me. That was not a good thing to me. So yes, I've gained a little bit more, but I still haven't gotten back to where I felt best at before I had Layla. So yes, I'm grateful for everything. I know, like, I'm great. You know, I'm grateful for everything, my stretch marks and everything, because I wouldn't have had her. But at the end of the day, I would be lying if I said I just loved the look of it. Like, no.
So for you would feel better if you were a little heavier.
But it's the hardest thing. It was hard for me to get there, and I was happy when I got there. And now it's hard for me to get there again. So, yeah. But that's just me. I'm talking personally, but that's just something like most women go through. Either they're gaining weight and want to lose it, or they done lost it and want to gain it, or maybe they lost it and they happy with their weight. But I mean, that's just me personally. But I mean, because I know a lot of women be like, girl, you look good. What you talking about? But it's not about it. You think it's me, you know?
Right.
So, girl.
Wait, what is that?
I'm finna mute myself.
Okay, listen. We're gonna get ready to wrap this up. So, we haven't figured anything out, obviously. But that's okay. from what I take from this conversation, I'm gonna sum this up from my perspective, and maybe it's just because I had another guy on here who's thoughtful, but I think that we did a much better job than y'all did on this one.
I didn't know this was a competition.
What happened
But
to
I
him?
feel honestly, I don't necessarily feel y'all did a greater job. It's just the fact that y'all just went with the words, nice words. We were trying not to BS it, we was just trying.
What
We
you
could have
mean
said
BS?
communication,
Men don't want
all
that.
that great stuff.
We
Huh?
just, men don't want none of that.
Don't want what? We don't want what?
All the stuff that y'all saying about mothering and all this stuff. Listen, this is what
Yeah, but that was the action. That was the real truth. We just didn't BS it. That's
I
it.
just think right now at this point in our society, especially with African American stuff like that, in our community, with social media and just the way things are, there's such a gulf between men and women.
Mhm.
There's such a gulf perceptions, as far as the imagery. That's a good word to use. Imagery. What's this and what's that? I think by having more conversation, we can sort of bridge that gap, between men and women, and just
Can
see.
I-
Yeah, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
For example, how a woman, based on what we were saying before, how a woman before, I guess, kids or whatever, how she felt about herself or how she looked in like certain clothes, how she fit those clothes. Those are the things most likely your man tell you, oh, you look good, you da da da. That's the things they like. So like, let's just, for example, after the kids, those clothes you don't look the same in, or you have to totally change your wardrobe to some other stuff that's okay, but you pretty much have to compliment your new body.
Yeah.
And maybe your man and I'm not speaking personally on this, but maybe your man or whatever doesn't say like the same things he used to. So even though y'all not really saying, oh, you look bad, or even though y'all still want us, it's still certain things I guess women notice or want from them, like, and we know why we're not getting it, because that's the same way we feel about ourselves. Even though y'all are not thinking that deep into it, it's more so like, I get why he don't say you look good in the jeans no more, or I get why certain things, or the, how do I say it? But I mean, some women do go through that because of the changes with their.
I understand, Bree. What I'm saying is, we don't care. Listen, I used to have a 6-pack. I got like a kid right now.
That's because you choose to. We done had this talk. You don't care about no type of greens, no type of vegetables, no
Let
nothing.
me put my business all out there.
Like you
Just telling all my business. Like, no. It's like, you don't eat right. You don't do this. You don't do that. Listen, I'm not a fat guy. I'm not saying I'm a fat guy. I'm not a fat guy. But
clearly.
I'm just saying, like, men we are visual creatures, but if you love somebody, I believe it goes much deeper than that, much deeper than how you look. But
right.
What I'm going to do, this is what we're going to wrap up this conversation. I invite you all to come back. The next one is going to be, why aren't you married?
Oh, no.
So, or why don't you think you are? See, listen, y'all are all run from that one.
I'll sit that one out.
Shut up.
You better be nice at this one there, cuzzo. You better be nice.
No, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna find some more guys. I don't know what happened to Tyrone. I need to call him, but as always, this is a safe space to talk. Just between people. Appreciate Jess, Bree, Shaka, Jess, Tyrone, and I guess February 24th we'll do Why Are You Not Married, if you ladies are willing to join.
Sure.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.